Welcome to the Beyond the Veil with Daniel Jackson podcast, the podcast where we head down the road of the supernatural and beyond. So sit back and hold on as we take a ride together to what lies in the unknown and beyond the veil. Stacey found her true calling after surviving a life-altering illness and near-death experience. She has since become the founder of Happy, Healthy, Healing Reiki and the Manifesting Virgin Academy. She assists women in taking their power back by helping them release their own trauma and heartaches. She teaches women to connect with their divine source for the first time and to start living a life beyond their wildest dream. And now your host, Daniel Jackson, with part 2 of But Did You Die?
It's never going away for you. We do have lows because you live in this physical world, because you have these low negative energies around you all the time.
Too many.
But that doesn't mean it's going to change you. The only thing you are going to do is continue to move up the ladder. That's
Amen.
it.
Amen. Mm-hmm.
You know where God bless you came from?
Well, I know your heart stops.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with that. So back in the day of Jesus, in those days, after he passed away, when you would sneeze, people would say, God bless you. And the reason they would do that, because when they thought when you were sneezing that you were releasing demons from your body. So they would say, God bless you, to keep the demons from now. So every time we're walking around the house and my wife sneezes, I go, be gone, demons. Yeah, no.
I want to ask you something.
Because everybody continued to sneeze after that. The demons don't release because there's no such thing as demons. They're just negative energies.
It's just negative. You're 1,000% right. When I ask you, oh yeah. Well, again, it's the same thing. Love or fear, love or fear. Anything
Right.
negative is fear. Love is all positive. Ebb and flow, ebb and flow. Let me ask you, I want to ask you something.
Of course you can. You can ask me anything
right.
you want to, anytime you want to.
You're
We're
wonderful.
sisters.
Seriously.
We're brothers and sisters. That's fine.
Yes, we are. So when I say to you, King David,
What
do you
about
feel
him?
anything?
Yeah, I just got touched yes for that. Why?
All right. No, we'll talk about it after the show.
Okay. Yeah, so the people who wrote that book, the Bible, those are the people who want to tell you how to live your life the way they want you to live it and give them 10%.
Rules.
And
Bullshit.
why do they know about 10% thousands of years ago? Because the people who wrote that book were kings and queens. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, that's just the body anyway. I mean, when they get back home, you get back home and you go, oh, you were a king and you were the one who was telling me what to do and you tortured me. And they go, yeah, I'm sorry about that. And you go, yeah, okay, no problem. And you let it go.
Do you know who Carl Jung is?
Who?
Carl Jung.
Oh, yeah, no.
So basically one of his favorite quotes, I quote him and Rumi, who's a Russian poet, is the best way to get lost, to lose your soul, is to believe in a God outside of your own body.
Oh, absolutely.
To me, that's it. That's all I needed to hear. And the minute I can, it's very strange because your eyes, like the blue, oh, it's crazy. It's like the rainbow reflection in your eye is amazing. It's crazy.
That's not what you're saying.
Oh, that's like a Megatron, like transforming. Ooh, that's weird. I'm tripping balls again.
That's what we're going to talk about later.
Woo, tripping balls.
That's what we're going to talk about later.
Shit. And yeah, I forgot what I just said.
Sorry, buddy. Yeah.
I don't remember what I said, but it's just, I don't know, if more people would understand.
We have to get outside the realms of the God they tell us to believe in and the God that actually is. And that's not even his real name either. His God, we can't pronounce God's name, but we just use that name God because we see God as being an all-powerful thing. So like back in the day, I mean, you're around my age or so, close, but we used to say Led Zeppelin was the gods of rock and roll. And but because they were the biggest band, the gods of rock and roll. Yeah. His name, he has a name. We're just not meant to know it right now. And we can't really
call it whatever name you want to call it.
Yeah, you can't pronounce your own actual real name. I mean, Stacey is your human name, but you've had a whole shitload of names and you've been here a boatload of times. And but your actual real name is more of a sound, like a vibrational type thing. And when you get,
like a chant vibration.
Yeah, when you get back home, somebody may call you Stacey, but somebody else is going to go, oh, and you're going to go, oh, hey, it's me. Hey, what's up? That's it. Yeah.
Well, Shaman is my Hebrew name.
Is it?
So I'm a descendant. Yeah. Shaman, which is to be heard. And I went back to my roots, and I'm, like I said, divine consciousness. I'm learning all about everything right now. I have an open mind. All I'm looking for, like, heart. I don't care what you are. I want a heart. Like, if I see you have a heart, to me, that's a beautiful person.
My Hebrew name is Yich.
Yuck, yuck.
Yeah, because when you see me naked, that's what you say.
My nanny would say Hazarai in Yiddish. Ugh.
Oh, ugh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. So when you spoke to these people, and not people, but these beings, when you spoke to them,
Entities.
and they were talking to you, and you were getting your information from this one being, what did he say? Did he tell you the lottery numbers, or was it much more?
No, because true manifesting is manifesting who you are, not what you want. And remember, all I
Right.
cared about was being happy. I just wanted happy.
Because praying is not for asking for more than you are supposed to have. Praying is giving thanks for what you do have.
Amen. And I wanted happy. I wanted inner peace. So God explained to me why every trauma happened, why every tragedy, why I was dealt such a shitty hand. And he was like, "Oh, child,
No,
I
no.
knew you could handle it. And you're here to show other people."
You were meant to have that shitty hand, because if you were given everything in life, you wouldn't learn to appreciate it.
And I'm more empathetic, and I can hold someone else's hand because of the shoes I've walked in.
Right. These
So-
were lessons that you needed to learn for you.
Yes,
This
but
is
I-
the
but
lessons that
again-
your soul chose to learn these
Yeah.
lessons. You just had
But I
to
was
realize.
ready. You know,
Yeah.
Daniel, that's the biggest thing. I wanted to go deep, the deepest pits of hell. I told God, we had an agreement. I'm like, yes, I'm willing to heal. Show me what I have to do to heal my body. And he's told me it's my trauma, and I had to heal, and
You
and
let it go.
forgive and let it go, and
Yeah.
you know, melt my heart that was frozen for 45 years. And I was like, nope, not happening. And so he told me exactly why I'm here and what I'm supposed to do next, which that is my own sacred sanctuary. It's no one's business.
Put you on
You know.
defrost.
What?
He put you on defrost.
He did, and he brought the right people into my life. As you know, even energy exchange, when we're around people that lift our vibration, it's magical to me.
And he brought them in as you were letting go of the ones who were not right people for your life.
I had to, and that was the hardest lesson I had to learn. And I'm still recovering from that because
Yeah,
that just
because-
recently happened.
It doesn't make a difference if it's your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister,
Horrible.
your best friend, your so-called best friend, because we all have one of those. If they're not helping you to motivate in your life, lift you up and be a good positive force in your life, and you vice versa with them. And if that's not going on, let them go.
Well, I had to build my own community because I
Yes.
couldn't find enough
Yes.
people, and I want to help women. I mean, I'm doing boundaries. I'm setting boundaries.
Yes.
I'm learning as I go, but I cannot be around the negativity, the Debbie Downers, the depressed fucking people. I tried helping them for 4 years, and I got knocked down again. And God's like, "Child, will you just listen to me?" And finally I'm like, whatever you tell me to do, I will do. And that's what's been happening. And the most beautiful people are coming into my life because of it.
And when I had my awakening and I had to choose, basically taking the red pill or the blue pill, and I took that red pill, I told God the same thing. I don't know how I can do this or what I need to be doing with this. If you need me to help these spirit, I will cross them over, whatever I got to do. Or if you need to help the ones who are living here, I will do whatever you want me to do. And that's I said the exact same words. I will do no matter what it is. Now, my wife said to me later on, if you knew everything you're going through now at the same time, and this was happening to you now, you knew about it ahead of time, do you think you would have said yes to it? And I said, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because even though I had to go through a lot of shit, because I'll tell you that story later too. But even though I had to go through all this shit, when I get to talk to people, I get to help people every single day. And when you do that, it feels good. And is it worth all the other stuff? Does it outweigh everything else? Hell yeah, it does. But is it for every single person like us? No. They have to accept it. They have to be okay with it, because when you do come to this awakening point, and if you're going to move forward with that, you have to know that it's going to completely change your life. You're going to turn 180 degrees. So, but is that for everybody? Not
No,
for
hell
everybody.
no. Only the strong can do this. And I don't mean to say it
No,
like,
no, you're absolutely right.
yeah, it's not for everyone, but I chose this path.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they were talking to you, what was being said?
Just my puzzle pieces. God literally, I asked as many questions, but that was just the beginning for me.
Got to fill in the gaps, buddy.
So, well, that was just the beginning for me because so all the questions that I asked, I'm like, why did I grow up with this type of trauma? And I wanted the answers, so that's really what it was all about. And God literally told me that I have to work on letting go of my shame.
Right.
I have to let go of my blame. I have to let go of my regret.
Right. Because in order to teach someone else to do that, you have to do it yourself. I had
to walk the walk. So he literally told me exactly what I had to do moving forward. And I've been doing that ever since. The shoes that I've walked in, I agreed. I agreed to this. So to me, it's never a question of, oh my God, again, seriously. It's like, what's next? What's next?
Well, you had to face it.
I had to, and I had to walk the walk in order to pick someone else up from the bottom who's walking the same walk and feels like they can no longer go on. And that's why I'm still here.
Because in order for someone to do it too, they have to be able to relate to you.
I believe that 1000%. And some people don't. Some people would rather, whatever path you're meant to walk down. But for me, if I'm going to someone for help, I want you to walk the walk. I don't just talk the talk and come at me with the bullshit.
Right.
Because you were taught that.
Yeah. Because as I tell everybody, if life was meant to be easy, what would be the point of living? If you were given everything in your lifetime, you wouldn't appreciate it now. So you have to go through these things so you can experience for yourself, because we are here living the human experience. And in order to come out of that and become the eventual going back to being a white light being, you have to experience these things. And that's what you're here for. That's why your soul is here. Your soul is here to learn these experiences and to also fulfill a physical purpose as well.
A mission.
And but yeah, unless you go through it, what would be the point being here? If you didn't have to go through that, your soul wouldn't be here and you wouldn't be alive. You're all,
and I don't feel a darkness
for a reason. We just need to know why we're here.
Right. And that my whole thing is, why wait until you have an NDE? I mean, my whole thing now is, and I think that's a big misconception about near-death experiences with people who haven't experienced them. I'm finding that, all right, well, all of a sudden you see the light, you're one with the light, and you don't experience much darkness anymore. That's so not true, because I don't fear the darkness anymore.
Yeah, the darkness is all around us, but we don't have to live within it.
Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. For me, suffering is darkness. And I would rather, even though there are days that you have the pain, I'm still walking around like glitter fairy walking around.
Yeah, when I was in my bedridden state there, it's not that I stopped talking to them. They lessened the experience of having to do things and stuff like that, because they know I was not able to do that. So, but they were still always there for me, still talking to me, letting me know everything was going to be okay. We just have to get through this. And this is a cleansing. And once you're done with that, we can move forward again.
And then the next cleansing and the next cleansing. It's like I'm constantly learning every day, because every day I wake up and I'm like, I set my intentions. It's going to be a beautiful day. Who am I going to bless today? Who am I going to make smile or laugh? And my motto is one a day. If I could have put a smile on one person's face a day, that's all I'm here for.
Yeah,
for right
absolutely.
now. For right now.
And when you do that, you know inside of you that it feels good.
Amazing. It's the best to me. Giving back is everything, but I like the reciprocity. I like the mutual exchange where I'm at with, while I'm still healing, I need the mutual exchange, because I'm still in a critical state that some days I can't get out of bed and whatever. Yeah. I'm still in a critical state.
Again, like I was saying earlier,
I'm healed.
This is you healing. This is not you going rock bottom anymore. You're not, you're way past that, but you still have to go through these things as well to be able to let them go. And you will, but it's not going to be much longer.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And you're okay. Yeah, I mean, you're okay. But yeah, when we go through these things, as anyone who goes through any type of illness whatsoever, or if you have a broken leg or whatever you have going on, I have 4 screws in my back. Whenever you're going through these things, we always believe it's just happening to me. It's not happening to anyone else, but it is happening everywhere. But you going through it is not always easy to do. But again, if life was meant to be easy, what would be the point of living? You wouldn't need to be here. I know a lot of people like to harp on the whole I don't mess with this stuff, and they tell me not to mess with this stuff. I mean, I could, but it's a lot of BS as well. They don't want me to mess with the whole past life regression thing. And the reason being is because people want past life regression, or they want to talk about past life regression because they feel as though they brought some trauma from their previous lives into this one, and they do. But again, the only way you can get rid of that stuff is by choosing to let go of it. So holding on to something, but a lot of people want that past life regression because they want a story to tell their friends. So things are, oh, guess what?
I have no desire.
I was related to this king, or I was related to this queen. Now, here's the thing about your past life regression, your past lives. If your previous life before this one was so important, you would have fulfilled your purpose. You wouldn't be here now. You're here. Everyone else around you in this world, when you look outside, everyone has been to heaven. Every one of them had to come back. Yourself. Yeah. So if your life was so important last time, you wouldn't have had to come back. You're here.
You didn't fill your purpose.
Right. You're here for a reason. And the purpose is very simple. The purpose is not you becoming a doctor. It's not you becoming a lawyer. You will fulfill that purpose while being that, but that is a choice that you make. Your purpose is very simple. God made it simple for everybody, so everybody could do it. It's just not everybody chooses to do it, and that's why they keep coming back. And
love.
Look, yeah, you are here to help each other, just by
love
helping, just because you can, because you should, not just because it's going to make you more money or it's going to make you more important. That's ego talking. Yeah,
love.
Yeah, it's all about love. It's all about helping each other,
serving,
just because we can, right? And if you're one of those people who walks around and says, "Oh, I hate the world and fuck people and they're pieces of shit," well, guess who's coming back again? You are.
Exactly. I love how you explain things. I just love it.
Because that's how they explain it to me. It's very simple. But people want to make it more, people want to, oh, my purpose is they got to make this extravagant story of what they're supposed to do because they want to look more important than someone else.
Oh, I need to dumb it down. I need simple.
Realize it. But when they do that, you're using your ego. That's not ego is something you learn how to have here, with pain, anger, sorrow, grief, guilt, and all that mess. You come into this world with love, and you can leave with love. You can leave all that other shit behind, unless you choose to remain here as an earthbound spirit, and they hold on to that shit. But you don't have to. It's just a choice. You don't have to be forgiven, or God's got to, you got to pay a penance to God. No, yeah, he put you here. You were created like everyone else, like me, a divine soul. Divine souls don't do any wrong. Jesus was not the only divine soul, and he was telling us that. It's just the people who are in control didn't want you to know you were that. So that's why they murdered him in front of everybody, to let them know, if you do what he's doing or follow what he's doing, we're going to do this to you too. Why do you want to wear a form of punishment around your neck? Why do you want to have a cross around your neck? Because they want you to wear it so they can remind you how much control and power they have over you.
Oh yeah,
because you know why they do that?
Control.
Because they're bitches. That's why.
They're all bitches. They're all bitches. To me, no.
They
God is love.
Yeah, don't let them do it. But you have risen up from that.
Oh God, but here's the thing. Even during my most traumatic times in my life, I've always been one with kindness, compassion, and giving back.
Yeah, me too.
And I love community. My heart is,
because even though you are.
My heart is very, very beautiful, but I didn't realize the beauty of my heart until my ego died.
Even when you were young, you were that type of person where you always looked for the good in people.
Always.
Even though they would do something bad, you would still try to look for the good in that. But there have been times when you had some people come across you and they've done it a couple of times, and you said, "Okay, I'm done with you." But
we're done.
But that's what you are supposed to do anyway. You are supposed to be done with the low negative energy people and move on to the higher energy people, the ones you actually can help.
I'm ready. Yep. Yeah. So it's funny you said that, because again, Dr. Dyer, who's, my spiritual papa, he teaches you that when you get knocked down, because this is life, such as life, you are going to get knocked down. What are you trying to teach me? And the minute I
Right.
changed my perspective in 2020 and started looking at, instead of poor me, oh my God, again. All right, God, what are you trying to teach me here? And I've used that philosophy for quite a few years now. And it's true every time I go into it. All right, what am I learning here? I still have more lessons every day. I have more lessons
Right,
to
because
learn.
everything you do is a lesson in your life. If I pick up this little
Absolutely.
controller, I pick up this controller and put it in my hand and I put it back down, that's a lesson. If I pick it up and drop it, it's not a good lesson or a bad lesson. It's just another lesson, because you're here to learn lessons. And those lessons
Amen.
are simple. If you walk through a door and there's a nail in the floor and you trip over the nail, what's the lesson to learn? You go get a hammer, you bang that nail back in, and then you walk through the door freely. Or you're one of those people who continues to trip over it 4 or 5 times. Or you're one of those people who just trips over a nail the rest of their lives. And then they just make a return trip because they don't learn lessons very well. That's all. But other lessons, simple lessons, people go, oh, I'm going out with this girl and she's a piece of crap. And this one's a piece of crap. And this one's a piece of crap. Hey, maybe you should just try to date a different kind of girl.
You just
I
asked for
never
it.
thought of that. Yeah, you know why? Because you're a dipshit. That's why, and you don't learn
They're
lessons
idiots.
very well. So
Self-absorbed idiots.
change your thought, change your train of thought, and change
Amen.
the patterns of what you have been doing into something, because there's only 2 decisions you ever make for your entire life. It's based upon 2 things, because there's no right and wrong, there's no epic failures, there's no mistakes. There's only what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And if it doesn't work for you, quit fucking doing it. But people can't, because they only know one certain way. Change
Amen.
that way. And the only way that you can change it is by what, Stacey? Choosing.
You have to drastically change yourself.
That's
You have
right.
to
Make a
change your heart.
choice. Yeah.
Choice. Choose love or fear. You choose
Right.
love.
And which do we prefer?
Oh, please. Give me love all day long. That's why I shake glitter all day long. I'm all
Right.
around. I'm surrounded by love and light, and it's such beautiful things.
I
It's
would love
beautiful.
to see you shit glitter. That would be cool. I would stand right next to her and go, oh, look at that.
Well, it's my magical flying unicorn, Namastasia. I
Are
told
you?
you.
Awesome. Yeah. Do you have a horn sticking out your ass? Can I see that?
Absolutely. And no, I have one on my head though.
See, you got a little bump there.
I do. It's my good luck. Twice I had to have it surgically removed.
It's a cyst. That's what that is. Yeah.
Yeah, but every time I tried to schedule my surgery, it was canceled. So it's
Really?
meant to stay.
Oh, that'll be great. You're going to be on Dr. Pimple Popper next year. It's going to be awesome.
Ew.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be great. Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's a part of me. I love my flaws.
yeah.
It's a part of me.
Yeah. I had a bunch of those. I had like 9 of them removed. They came out like the size of a grape. It was huge.
Yeah, but you have no hair to cover it.
I actually do. If you look in here, I have hair. I just cut it very short because it
comb over.
No, I have complete full head of hair. I used to have big hair in the 80s and stuff. No, I have full hair. It's all there. I shave it all off because it wears better under a helmet.
Yeah.
I ride a motorcycle.
Oh, I see. Yeah, my husband is bald.
Is he?
Oh yeah, I love it. They need to redo the whole bald, men, and there's such a stigma attached there
cool,
too.
Right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I had like back in 2020, I grew a beard. I had this beard that came down to here, but it was funky. It didn't grow out curly or anything. It came out of straight long hair. I was like, man, that was a pain in the butt to take care of. But that's how my hair is too. My hair gets wavy and it would all come out grayish, and I was like, nah, I don't want that. But women,
that's funny.
Yeah, if women find that sexy, but they like the bald head too. So
I know I sure do. I mean, my man, 7 years later, I just.
Right, yeah, and I get in the shower and I do this with some soap, and I do this with some water, and I do this, and then I'm ready to go. So yeah, right, yeah, I shake like a dog, yeah. Except but
there you go.
So after this experience, who was it exactly who was talking to you?
Which part after my near-death experience?
No, during the experience,
no one talked to me from what I remember, and it's all documented. I wrote it, but again, short-term memory.
Right. Sure.
God. I mean, I heard God's voice. It was God's voice only the first night. But now looking back, I'm starting to add pieces because it's coming in. Because of the amnesia, I'm remembering pieces and pieces. And
sure.
The more my trauma releases from my limbic system in my brain, the more I'm able to remember. Yep. Yeah, the more I'm able to remember. So they didn't start talking to me until I was able to do meditations with lifting the veil. but the first night was always God. And I know when it's God, like when I start journaling and free writing, I'll know instantly when it's God. Like I'll know by what I'm writing, if it's God or if it's someone else I'm channeling, it all comes through in my writing.
Yeah, JC also had a conversation with you.
Oh yeah. And well, so here's that's really funny. I actually, I should send you what I wrote the night I talked to him.
Michael had a conversation with you. So yeah, I mean, you'll remember this eventually. Michael had a conversation with you.
Michael's always around me.
Yeah, he's here right now. I can see him.
Yeah.
You're so what they actually look like. So Michael projects himself one way, but when you have the one-on-one with him, and you will, he's going to look different.
I've never seen what my angels look like. I only see what the people that passed away.
Oh boy, are you in for something. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. Because once I describe them to you, that's where it's going to become easier for you. And because if regular people saw them, they would be scared. So once I tell you, then you'll be prepared.
My head is tingling.
And is it tingling right back here?
No, my lips and my
No.
head and my teeth tingle.
Oh, because if you ever feel your hair tingling, like your hair follicles are moving
All the time.
Okay.
My crown chakra is activated.
Yeah. No, that is a specific angel, and you don't know her, but I do.
Really?
Yes. Her name is Helen. And she will, when you feel that, her name is Helen. Has nothing to do with chakras.
And she's an angel named Helen?
Yes. Because they don't tell you that. Because the people who came up with angel names and stuff like that, they don't tell you the real names. There are those names, Gabriel, Raphael, but there's actually a couple of Raphaels, Uriel, Azrael, Ezekiel. Well, I could go through all the names that I know, and there's 26 of them.
And I see Gabriel and Gabriella.
Yep, she's one, but yeah, there's lots of them. I have an Arthur, I have a Jacob, a Jerome, a Jonah, a Jonathan, a Daniel. I have, let's see, so Helen, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Amenadale, Azrael, Nezekim, Michael, Paul, Jacob, Daniel, Elaziel, Ezekiel, Richard, John, Nicholas, Ansel, Jacob, Jacob, Jerome, Jonathan, Jonah, Ophelia, and Arthur.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. And Manos, Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus is a little
I see
bit
him
different.
all the time too.
Yeah,
I see him all the time.
Yeah, Manos is my
When I meditate.
Manos, and if you look it up in Greek, Manos means God is with us, and Helen means the light of God. Yeah. So.
Oh my God! Wait until you see what I wrote about Helen. Wow.
When she is with you all the time, and when she's working with you, when you feel that on the top of your head, that's her letting you know that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Oh my God, I can't believe you wrote this. You're saying this. Because they told me I'm the light of the world.
I am a different light.
Yes, but my light is so this is very symbolic for me. Symbolic. Yeah.
My light is how you get from this world to the next place. And
your light is blue.
I'm here differently.
Yes, you are. We all are.
Well, so you come here for many lives, 28 for you, meaning you're on lifetime number 28, meaning you've had 27 other lifetimes, meaning you've had 27 other sets of moms and dads, 27 brothers and sisters, 27 dogs and cats, others. You've also had 27 other astrological signs that mean absolutely bullshit, because astrology is bullshit, because that only pertains to your body and not your soul, because that's a physical thing. Okay. So, and your mom and dad is not really your mom and dad. Your mom and dad is the person who created the body only. They do not create the soul. And the only time the soul comes into your body is when you were born. It's not sitting in your mother. That's still just being created. When the time of being born happens, when you're coming out of the womb, that's when your soul comes in, because when the soul knows that the body will not make it, the soul will leave. And that's why we have stillborn babies. That's why, because it just doesn't have a soul in it. That's the only reason why. And they knew, the soul knew that the body was not going to last in this world. So it left because it was too damaged. But that happens because we are fallible bodies. We are humans.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
and I don't say those things to piss people off. It's just that's just the way it is.
That's the truth.
Luck. But but we do have bodies that come into this world, or what we call disabled. But the soul who chose that body chose that one specifically. It was just some of them are too disabled and they can't make it. So, but the souls come into the disabled bodies because they're lining up in lines to get into those bodies, because they know the lessons they're going to learn are going to be very hard, and the purpose it's going to fulfill is very hard as well. And then when they get done being in that body, they don't ever have to come back again. So, which is cool for them. But yeah, my light is a little bit different.
Can I ask you a question though?
Absolutely.
Why did you say 27?
Did I tell
you what that means to me?
You're on number 28, but you've had 27 other lifetimes. You're just you're still having to go through this one. Why did I say it? Because they told me. Because
wow, you're the real deal. You are literally the real deal.
As I'm talking to you, I'm being told. And in that moment, while I'm talking to you, they're telling me things. And even at the same time that I am speaking, I am still talking to them, asking them questions and getting answered. I'm talking twice.
27 is my God. Wow, I could show you 1,000 times where I wrote 27, 27, 27, 27. What does 27 mean? You're the real deal, dude.
I can't make this shit up.
You can't make this shit up. And so here,
can't do it.
Everything is 20. Oh my, wow, yes, this is magic.
So like when I'm talking to you, and then as I'm talking to you, they told me 28, that's what number you're on now. And then I said to them in my mind, did you just say 28? And I get yes. And it happens that fast. So it feels like I'm talking at the same time, but my mind is also talking at them at the same time as well.
Yeah, I get the same.
It's happening that fast. But yeah, so you're
so 27 is Wayne Dyer. 27 was my connection from Wayne Dyer. That's how I was taught that I'm Wayne Dyer. It's 27. It's crazy. It's crazy, the synchronicities. My mind is blown right now.
It is right here. Every time you say something, because we're so connected, when I get a yes, when they're telling me something, when you're saying something, I'm getting this across my forehead saying yes, yes, yes.
Oh, this is magical. This is happening in real time.
Yeah, yeah. And but so when she's touching you, you're also going to get other touches. You've been getting other touches.
Yes.
But you just thought it was something else and you went like this.
Who's in my left ear? When it rings, who's in my left ear? Do you know?
Oh, when your ear rings, you're getting so you know how we talk about getting downloads and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. When your ear is ringing, you're getting a different kind of download that's going straight to your soul. It's like a dog with a dog whistle. Only dogs can hear it. Well, we get that too. We just don't know what it is. But that's what it is. Your soul is getting something. When it's coming in, you're hearing it as that whistle. That's going to happen. That's going to happen all the time. And then sometimes what happens is, here's the kicker, and this is how you're going to recognize it. You wake up the next day and you just know stuff.
Yes. That's been happening a lot lately.
That's where it's coming from.
Yeah.
That's where it's coming. It's being brought to you. You hear the whistle, and then eventually the next day when it gets processed, you wake up and you know stuff.
God, I'm learning so much from you. Seriously, thank you. Wow. I'm still baffled that you did 27. Like, my mind is blown. My email is SRJones, whatever, but 27. Wow. Oh my mind is blown right now.
And you're good looking.
Oh, duh. Do you know
Oh man, I'm trying to keep that in my mouth. Let's go.
Do you know the fuckwad that I used to be married to called me average 30 years ago and
Really?
destroyed my self-esteem?
That's because he had a self-esteem problem.
Well, I call him Napoleon Jesus.
Yeah, he projected his self-esteem, low self-esteem onto you, which made him feel better. That's why.
Well, yeah, but unfortunately, I gave my power away for 45 years.
It happened.
And I was like, ugh. But he was an amazing provider. He gave me a fairy tale life. He brought me to Kenny. He brought me to my fairy tale that I'm living now.
Well, this is the same thing that religion does to people. They give you things, but they want to take things away from you. So you always have to go back to them to give you something.
Bullshit. Yeah, you're right. You nailed that one.
Yeah. I get those things,
I'm still baffled by the whole 27. I'm like,
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it'll make more sense to you eventually after we have our talk later. But
yeah, you're the real deal, Daniel. You know, you are amazing. Did you write books? You did write books, right?
I just wrote my first book, and
dude, you need to be teaching this.
It will also have 25 channeled messages from God of what we are supposed to be actually doing.
You are the real deal. Yeah.
And the story I tell in it is actually like a biography of me, of knowing I've seen spirits since I was like 3 years old, and everything that I've experienced. And then when my awakening came up, everything I experienced and everything that happened there, and then going through, and basically it's that, but it's also a self-help book for people who are going through this as well, who don't realize what's going on. And this is my way of telling them, find your people. And if you can't find your people, I'm going to leave my telephone number in the book. Come find me, and I will help you to understand why you are here. Because
you need to write.
I do a mentoring program on my Spirit Medium Daniel page, and in the beginning we were going to charge for it, but my wife and I just discussed it a little while ago, about a month ago. We're not going to charge for it, but the people who are going to be in that program are ones that, so I'm not picking them. Okay, so I am picking them, but I'm not picking them. They will come. Tell you, they'll come to me, and then Spirit will tell me yes or no.
You need to write a book, because I could have used you.
It's done.
Well, no. What I'm saying is you need to write about, because I was in a crisis. I was in a spiritual emergency crisis which would have been a nervous breakdown in the loony bin. I read a book.
I love crazy bitches.
I love batshit crazy bitches. Get it right.
I married one. She's in the next room.
Batshit crazy, please. Yeah. But if it wasn't for a book the day after Christmas that I read, that God led me to on Amazon, about my spiritual emergency crisis, I would not be here, because I wasn't going to survive that. I was so scared because of what was happening to my body. It's a true thing. It's called a spiritual emergency crisis, but you would have called it a mental breakdown. But I know I was just awakening.
Yeah, you
need to write that. You need to write a self-help guidebook. The spiritual emergency.
Well, there's something else in the works that's in the works for me already. That it's not going to happen right now, but it'll eventually happen later. And they want me to teach this. But it's for a much higher purpose of when this place comes to an end.
I can see that. You're very knowledgeable.
So and that's why I know all the stuff I know and all this stuff, because they tell me everything.
We're channeling. We're getting the messages.
Absolutely. We are the conduits, but we are still a part of it as well. We are the team. We have to be okay with knowing that even though they are archangels and angels and stuff like that, we are in this too. We are part of that as well. Again, because all is one and one is all. So, so we are part of that team. We don't need to feel as though, even though they are angels and archangels, that we are a lesser part of this team. We're not. But because the only way that the word can get to these other people is being spoken to them by other people. That's all.
Amen. Yeah. And people will be ready to hear it when they're ready.
Yeah, absolutely. So
because 3 months ago, you would have scared the shit out of me. I would have been like, awesome. Wackadoodle. Cool.
Wackadoodle. Yeah, that's a Jersey word right there. But
I'm one.
Yeah.
I'm one with the wackadoodles.
Yeah, there's a list of words, and wackadoodles like number one. Yeah. When you but people, there are going to be people in this world that you are going to be able to help, and then the other ones just have to go by the wayside, because we know, again, in order for the world to move forward, those people have to go away, and they will. But
The ripple effect.
yeah,
The ripple
absolutely.
effect.
Yeah. But so after you had this experience, after everything happened, and you finally come out of
7 hours later.
of that, and being yeah, because yeah, when I go into meditation, I say I'm going in for 15 minutes, and I come out 2 hours later. My wife's like, really? I'm like, yeah, really. So so after you had this experience, where did you go from there? What did you wake up and finally go, ding, light bulb, and now I know where to go?
Yes, I had an instant remission. I had a spontaneous remission. I had my surgery. What?
But was it spontaneous, or did it happen because it's supposed to?
Yes, but I also did the work, so I knew what was happening. But I self-healed from several autoimmune diseases, and that was instant. I shook my husband up the next morning, and I literally said, I'm going to heal. Now understand, I was dying and I was on my deathbed, and I'm like, I'm going to heal. God's going to heal me. I have a videotaped. I was that determined, and I knew I was going to heal. And a week later,
usually that's not what couples videotape, but go ahead.
It's another podcast.
Yeah, right.
But I knew I was going to be healed. So I actively had a brand new spark of God in my heart that cannot be extinguished.
Right.
So I had a new lease on life. And then a week later, I had surgery to remove my implants that were poisoning me for 16 years. When I woke up from that, so you got to understand, I had my near-death experience on the 24th.
Yeah, there's sections that you have to go through. Yes.
And then May 7th, well, you have to have, I love this. Someone said this today. You have to have separation in order to have expansion.
Right.
And I was like, I love how she said that. So after my week later surgery to remove my implants, I woke up from surgery with brand new eyes. Like I see everything through the eyes of love now. Yeah,
and you have to have that separation in order to actually see that. You can't eat the fish until you take them off the hook.
Hell yeah. Again, I fucking ran the marathon. Right. I walked the walk, talked the talk. I did it all. So after that, I just decided to dedicate the rest of my life to finding out more about my spirituality journey and shedding more layers. Right. I went back to work. And I obviously didn't learn what I was supposed to, because I went back to working like a dog, like I do. Remember, I was up for a promotion. So I was like, I was in leadership. I was going to be a director of clinical operations. I had the big girl panties on. I was like, oh yeah, I can do this, because I believed in myself that I could do this job. So I went back to work and I got sick again. And I started developing anaphylactic reactions to life, to my house, to walking outside. So my husband and I had to disappear. We had to literally leave our house, because 7-8 times a day I was having anaphylactic reactions with an EpiPen and everything. And I had to leave my house. And that's when I got lost in God's country, probably in July of last year. And that's when my healing truly, truly started. And I connected to, God bless, or whatever that was. I connected to everything, the flowers, the trees, the butterflies. I started seeing the magic instantly, and I started seeing physical magical signs in front of me. And it's been a roller coaster of emotions ever since, but it's been the most beautiful journey. And then I had my Kundalini awakening last Thanksgiving, which it's not a sex position, just saying.
Yeah, I know. Every time you say that word, I think it's something dirty.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
It's not that.
Do me a favor, keep saying that word.
No perv.
Yeah, I had a guy tell me today, I was on Facebook, and there was this girl doing this experiment. Now, this is the way she got your attention to do this experiment, because she was doing the experiment with Coke and those whatever those things you put in there to make them bubble up and stuff like that.
The fizzy fizzies.
Yeah, and but she was trying it different, where she was trying the Coke bottles underwater. She opened up the cap real slowly. The Coke was barely, and she was put these those mints in it, right? And that was going to make her explode. But the way she draw you into this to make people watch it, especially men, was she was doing it in a bikini top.
Of course, she knew what she was doing.
And
Smart girl.
she had a big set of lungs, so and I'm sure she was a great swimmer, but
I'm
anyway,
sure.
so yeah, because she floated, I'm sure. So I saw that on there, and I was like, wow, I would watch her put Mentos into anything. I don't care. I would watch this all day long. And this guy comes on and he says, "Oh, look at this guy. You're a creep for saying that about a woman." And I said, and trying to promote a spiritual business. I said, "You are here living a human experience. We are in human bodies, and humans are attracted to humans. So you're allowed, you're supposed to be doing this. How do you think we're supposed to have babies and procreate in this world? Because you are attracted to people, because God made these beautiful bodies for us to be attracted to. It's not something dirty or nasty. It's just something that goes, hey, it sets off a light in my mind and goes, wow, she's beautiful. She's good looking, And it's not that I'm going, oh no, I'm going to think dirty, horrible things. No, you're the one that doesn't get it, buddy. So we are here again, not just to be beautiful white light beings, but we are here in a human body doing that human experiencing and learning from each other. And how do I know this is true? Because we have models, and we have because we all look different and we all look beautiful, because everybody likes what they like, and you like what you like, and that's it, And why wouldn't I watch her? Yeah, she's doing the experiment, but she was gorgeous, so of course I'm going to sit there and watch her. Everyone does, But this guy was like, oh yeah, I said, yeah, go somewhere.
Fuck wads.
Yeah,
fuck wads.
Yeah, all these he
fuck waffles and fuck wads.
Yeah, Mr. Negative, just a piece of whatever.
Yeah, I can't deal with that negative energy. People are always going to say something, but you know what? Again, you have a choice of what comes out of your mouth. I read the 4 agreements. They're now 5.
Yeah.
It's just like, be impeccable with your word. Why would you start the fucking drama? Get the hell out of here with that shit.
Why would you want to be stifled over everything in this world? God didn't create words. God gave us an ability to make sounds. So you can say any word that you want to. It begins with the letter F that doesn't sound like fire truck. And he doesn't really care, as long as you're not putting negative energy on someone.
Oh my God, you speak my language.
If you want to say asshole all day long, go right ahead. But as long as you're not calling someone an asshole all day long, that's where it gets into the gray area of you're doing something that doesn't work for you and doesn't work for that person as well. So, but if you want to say fuck all day long, I don't give a fuck. It
was my first word. I'm from Jersey. I was a Philly girl. I was born in Philly, but I called myself a Jersey girl. But fuck was my first word, and my backbone. God let me keep my backbone, and He said, "Be impeccable with your word. It's my choice."
Yeah, when you were born, you said mother, and your dad turned to your mom and said, "Look, she said half a word." Because that's the way that works. Because we pick up on this stuff, but this is things that we created here. We created all word, we created language. How do you know it was all created? Because there's many different people on this world, and we all say the same words. We just say it differently.
Oh, please. That book, the kindergarten book, everything you've ever learned, you'd learned before you kindergarten, or you learned in kindergarten. If everyone could read that book again and take the stick out of their ass and just be happy and kind and compassionate and be more empathetic to your neighbor, your family, whatever. Come on now. That's all God wants, just like you said, one.
I saw a child book on the shelf the other day. I showed my wife in Walmart. It said it had a kid with his pants down and it pointing to his butt, and he says, "I need a new butt." And my wife says, "You just need a butt." Yeah, because I have no ass whatsoever. Yeah. I got the white guy's disease called no ass at all. Yeah. So
Kenny too.
Yeah,
Kenny
it
too.
happens. Yeah, but I got everything in the right places,
My husband's magical. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. So now that you're moving forward, now that you have a plan for yourself,
yes,
because they have given you a plan, and
yes,
they have set you on your journey.
I have my orders.
Right. So what are you going to do with those orders? Where do you go next?
God is aligning all the opportunities for me. I'm speaking on podcasts. I'm doing my own podcast.
What is the name of your podcast?
Unfiltered with Snowman and Ice Queen. So Brian Snow is a sports commentator. He's a podcaster. He's been doing the morning show in the mornings. and he is actually diagnosed with stage 3 pancreatic cancer.
Oh, bummer.
He is not supposed to be here. He is here for a reason.
Oh, yeah, if he wasn't supposed to be here, he wouldn't be.
Yeah, well, again, I mean, when people get hit with cancer, you automatically think you're on your deathbed, you're leaving, but Brian is going to heal,
Learning a lesson.
but, but people
I
see
have a
things
couple,
just,
I have a couple snowman jokes. Why can't snowmen have children?
why?
Because they have snowballs.
Oh, that was really cute.
Why did Frosty the Snowman run out into the middle of the street?
Why?
Because he heard the snowblower was coming.
All right, those are cute.
Yeah, not too bad, right? I got jokes.
Not too bad.
And how long have you been doing this show with him?
3 weeks.
Really? And
We just-
and there's a flow, and obviously there's a flow to it.
So it's all unfiltered, talking about our mental health issues. Both of us suffer from PTSD, anxiety, depression. That's in the past.
My wife has PTSD. I get it.
Yeah. Well, I'm 4 years where I've, connected with God, and I've healed naturally. So I'm high on life. So Brian is battling pancreatic cancer. And we talk about the mental health issues that people are afraid to talk about.
Sure. Yeah.
We're not afraid.
And that's because you don't need to be afraid. You just have to be aware.
We're very, very self-aware, but we're willing to talk about the things that people are not, the things you don't talk about at parties.
Yeah.
Ryan and I are going above and beyond, and we are talking about those things, and God brought us together, and it's a beautiful thing.
Right.
The synchronicities. Good. So between the two of us, we have a lot of stories. We're talking about like old game shows. We're going back to the basics of life, a time when people were happier, and laughter. I believe laughter is the best medicine. I have to make everything funny. I was on my deathbed, and I was like, my daughter yelled at me, "How can you still be so sarcastic?" Because I was born with a sarcastic spoon up my ass, like literally. Yeah, like I have that. So that's how I cope. I love dark humor. I'm inappropriate.
Yeah,
it's just, this is how God made me, and there's no shame anymore. But him and I talk about the things that people are experiencing now, but are hiding behind the mask. So it's very important for us to get that message out there.
Yeah, because if we don't start communicating with each other, what do we have? What do we have?
If you don't have community, if you don't have that connection. So I'm also building a community for women called The Magic is Real Bitches. It's going to be a free Facebook group just for women, because right now I'm setting boundaries, and I'm here just to help. I'm here to help the girlfriends, the women like me that are warriors, on the outside,
so
but inside.
Join,
what?
I can't join.
No, not included. No, you'd scare people away.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
No.
Hey, I would tell you, hey, bitches, how about putting on a bikini top for me and doing that Mentos thing? Okay.
You would. You would. Yeah. But it's just for women, and just women to be ourselves, because if you had that one strong girlfriend or that community of women around you when you were having a dark day.
Yeah.
How many no, because you have that connection.
There'll be a light at the end of that tunnel.
It has to, because, and I don't know about you, well, especially if you've survived PTSD, that isolation in your head, you go to a dark place. At least I did with my PTSD.
I'm living.
You live it.
I'm living with my wife. She was in the Air Force and the Navy. She served in the Gulf War, and she went through some things.
Oh, God bless her.
Yeah. So I live with it, and but I mean, my wife is able to. She's had therapy as well, and then she also she likes to keep herself busy. She does projects throughout the house and keeps herself busy and keeps her mind for those things. So yeah. But we've had some dark times as well, but we got through them.
Amen. You get through them together. If it wasn't for my husband, in order to process trauma, you have to feel safe. Yeah. And number one, I wasn't ready. And number two, I never felt safe enough in my lifetime to share my trauma. And it took him 4 years to break down the Ice Queen's walls. But I had to feel safe in order to process my trauma. And that's another thing people don't realize. I've been doing EMDR therapy for 2 years. I've done the fucking work, man.
Yeah.
I've done the work.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. You do have to feel safe, and my wife will tell you the same thing. Yeah, she knows she's safe with me, and
God bless her.
I go through things. I'll take care of her as well as she takes care of me as well, because I wouldn't be able to do what I do, being this, without having that person who is who is my soulmate, who is my partner in life,
Yeah.
helping me to do this. When we would go out and do festivals and stuff like that, and I do readings and all that, all I do is sit in a chair and have people come up to me. She takes care of all the money in the business and all that, and lining them up. And
Yeah.
getting them right. She does all that stuff, and I just sit there and go, next.
That's all I want to do is show up. I said to God, just let me show up. And what do you want me to do? He's like, just speak your truth and have fun. I can do that.
Right. Absolutely. And that's what we're here to do. But in order to do that, we have to be able to do it. And we have to have everything else taken care of for us.
We need our community. We need support. We need we need like-minded woo-woo warriors.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why you have your husband with you, because he takes care of you so that you can be.
Amen.
You.
Yeah. No, my ex-husband would have hired someone. He had the emotional capacity of a noodle.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. What else was the noodle?
Yeah. Do you know, and it's so funny because, and I tell this story, I don't care. I'm an open book now. That's how I heal. I heal. I just heal this way. But the last 3 years of my marriage with my ex-husband, I cried myself to sleep every night because I was in so much pain. Physically, emotionally, I was done.
Sucks balls, doesn't it? Yeah.
It totally, it sucked donkey dick. If you want to talk about sucking balls.
Yeah. It knocks you down to nothing, and you have nowhere else to go except wallow in your pain. So
and that's what I did for 3 years, and that's why I'm so sick. That's why I was so sick, because I never processed my trauma.
Right.
But I prayed.
Because all that stuff that you were going through will physically make you ill.
It manifests into disease.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. It did. And that's why I'm so sick.
We cause a lot of our own problems too.
Oh, hell yes.
But as I tell everybody, we as people create our own storms, but then we cry when it rains all the time. Meaning we cause
be accountable.
Be
accountable.
We cause all the drama, and then when drama happens to us, we can't understand why it's happening to us. Well, when you're putting out negative energy, you're just getting it back. That's all. You want it to go away, man, let it go and stop being that piece of shit person. Stop being the person who gossips to everybody and you got to get in everybody's business and all that kind of. And when you have a flat tire, you go, oh, why do I keep getting flat tires? Well, hello.
Yeah, exactly. But in the end, McFly, I love it. But I asked God while I was crying myself to sleep, I want a soul connection. Just give me it, please. I will do anything. Give me a soul connection. And God told me what to do next. And I did add, and please let me have a Latin lover.
Yeah. He's Latin, is he, huh?
Well, look at my last name.
Well, yeah, I know. It was hard to fucking, I can't remember it now.
Piedrahita rhymes with margarita.
Yeah. But what about the P part?
Oh, it's magical.
Oh, I bet it is.
Magical.
Got nothing to do with the last name, that's for sure. So, so now that you're on this journey.
Yes, just sharing my story. That's my journey.
So you're sharing your story to everyone. Have you seen it return back to you? So, like I've done podcasts for other people. So, like I have a website that we post our podcast on, but I also have other interviews that I've been on, and then we post them for people for two reasons. One, so they can hear the interview, and two, so maybe they will find another show that they might want to listen to, which is cool, because we got to help each other in this world, because if we don't,
absolutely.
So yeah, I have it on there. But from me being on other shows, I've had 5 readings recently, and 4 of them for people who heard me on another show. And
so that's what's happening with me. People are reaching out to me. I think you're the only person I reached out to, but what's happening is Jeff Mara. Do you know his podcast?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. All right. So his
doing mine. I don't have time for somebody else's.
I had 18,000 views on Jeff Mara's podcast about a month ago. Well, that's when everything changed for me. Producers reached out to me from TV shows.
Cool.
So I was just like, I'm leaving it up to God. I let go and let God.
Yeah.
So whatever happens next, God knows I'm ready. They kicked me out of the nest and they said, you're ready to fly.
Stop having your mommy chew up your food and put it in your mouth.
Exactly. Right, so I'm ready.
Yeah. So you'll get it now. So and that's a good thing. And that's where you need to be. And that's why I said, your healing's coming to an end, and you'll start
Yeah.
becoming the teacher. The one thing you're going to need to do, and because you're going to, at that point, you're going to start getting a lot more information from them. And the one thing that you need to do is make sure two things: you stand your ground.
Grounded.
But the first thing on top of that is, you need to write this down, is you need to tell people, don't mistake my confidence as arrogance, because since you're being told by them, you are right.
I wrote the same thing earlier today, but I wrote, don't mistake my kindness for weakness.
Right.
What'd you say? Don't mistake my
Don't
what?
mistake my confidence as arrogance.
Wow.
So I heard that from an angel as I went into my closet to get ready for work. And as I went into the closet, I heard a voice speak to me. And I was like this. I went,
I do the
what?
same thing.
What?
What the fuck?
And then it was my big guy, Manos, came through, and he started speaking to me. But the things that he told me, I won't tell you on live, because it'll, yeah. So, but one of the things he did say is, don't let them mistake your confidence as arrogance, because of what, not only what, but who you are, and who he told me who I was at that moment. But it's different. But yes, you have to tell when they say something like, "Oh no, you're wrong." No, that's your ego.
Oh, I will stand my ground, because
Yeah,
don't mess with
stand
my
your ground.
spirituality.
Right.
Don't mess
No
with
matter
that.
what they say, even when you tell them something, and if it doesn't resonate with them then, it will resonate with them later, and they'll go, "Oh," and have a moment, go, "Oh shit, man, why did I tell her she was wrong? She wasn't wrong, was she? No, she wasn't."
Exactly.
So yeah, don't just ever, always stand your ground, and don't tell them anything other than the, "Oh, well, let me think about it again." No. The answer you get is the answer it is. That's just the way it is. And
Well, I'm not going to waste my energy. I can't waste my energy on people anymore. They're going to come. They come to me.
That's right.
People that want to be in my circle, in my Facebook group,
Well,
whatever.
they're drawn to you because they're drawn to your energy, because it's their soul telling them, go to that person.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's such people say, it's, it was my biggest blessing. My curse, which I believed was my curse, was my biggest blessing. Oh, my head's now tingling.
Yeah, that's her. So
my curse was my biggest blessing. When
you're doing things and saying things and all that stuff, when you're doing that, that's her going, yes, correctly.
I know that.
That's
it's
your
just,
yes
I
answer.
love the validation. I love it. Love it.
And you have other ones as well, but we'll talk about that later. But you have other ones, and so you'll get more and more validation now.
Love it.
Ever since talking to me, because I'm the one who tells the other people what's actually going on. So hey, it's been great having you on my show.
This was awesome.
I'm glad that I reached out and you reached back, and which was awesome. And I'm hoping, so what we're going to do is at the end of the show, we will put your links up and everything that you want us to put up. And but tell my audience where they can find you.
So Amazon, my first multi-author book.
Oh my God, look at that.
I mean, you're talking about intuition. So this book became an international bestseller in 8 countries in 22 categories in 24 hours. That's how amazed people are about intuition and tapping into your intuition.
Because they want to know.
Amazon, Intuitive Speaking Her Truth. I'm one of the multi-authors. There's 24. I can also be found on, I do not do my Reiki anymore, even though I am a practicing Reiki master practitioner. happyhealthyhealingreiki.com is my website. And then Unfiltered with Snowman and Ice Queen is my podcast. And that's where you guys can find me. Oh, and on Facebook, Stacey Piedrahita.
Piedrahita, because it rhymes with margarita.
Yes, I'm your favorite pink sparkly cocktail.
You
might need one.
When I say Piedrahita, I have to think of Petri dish first, because you got that Pietra.
Ew.
Yeah, I know, right? But then I got that Piedrahita. So yeah.
No, I like my version better. Thank you.
Yeah, I like your version better too, but I can't remember shit, because I had that disease. It's called CRS. Can't remember shit. So
I have that too. I think I like the name of that.
Yeah.
Hold on, I called it something else. I like see it. What is it? Can't remember.
Can't remember shit, CRS.
And I have a shirt that says, love the shit out of myself.
Oh, do you?
Oh yeah, they're actually going to be collaborating with us. Yeah.
I used to do something similar to that when I was younger, but it wasn't love. It started with an F. So anyway,
Can't remember shit. I love that.
Yeah. It'll work. Yeah. Especially because we're getting older, the people will expect it. Go, oh yeah, I have that too. Yeah.
I'm aging in reverse, dude.
Are you?
Oh yeah, I have more energy than a
man.
20-year-old.
Yeah, you look younger than me. I mean, but like I said, I was just sick recently. I had the flu back in January and bedridden for 3.5 weeks, and I lost 30 pounds in 3.5 weeks. So
yeah.
I don't recommend that as a diet thing, but compared to Jenny Craig, she can go fuck herself. But
bedridden looks good on me.
Yeah, except for I got that one little sore on my butt I'm still trying to get rid of. But
Dude, you're on your own with that.
Yeah, I know. Well, at least it's not showing up like a canker sore. That'd be something different. But awesome. So I'm glad you came here. I'm glad to have you on my show, and I'm glad to spread your story and your kind of energy and your kind of joy with everybody else, because everybody needs that in their life. They need to stop woohooing, boohooing about their lives, because you think you're walking around life and oh, nobody else is going through this but me. Everybody's going through some shit, and that's why I tell people, don't judge each other, because when you see somebody you're about to judge, and
please.
You take a self-inventory, think about all the crap you've gone through in your life, and think that they're probably going through some crap too. And then you bite your tongue and walk the fuck away, because you are the same as them. We are all.
Hell yes.
Yeah, we just have to figure that out. But I'm glad that you were able to tell your story here, because you expressed some of that as well, because of all the things that you went through and feeling as though you got to a rock bottom. And people need to hear that from other people, so that they know, hey, it's not just me, so that's a good thing.
Not alone. And there's freedom in those tears, and there's I'm thankful for my scars.
Yeah,
every one of them.
We're never alone, because we have spiritual guides around us all the time. No one is ever really alone. You just think you are, but that's because you can't get out of your own head. Get out of your own head and get back into your heart. That's what you need to do. But so I'm glad you got to be with me. And I hope good things for you, because I know good things are going to happen. But we're going to talk about that in a bit anyway. So thank you everybody for coming to the show, and thanks for hanging out with Beyond the Veil with Daniel Jackson. Me, and I hope you have a good day, and be good, and don't do any stupid shit. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
This was Beyond the Veil with Daniel Jackson with part 2 of But Did You Die? Subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss an episode. For more information about Stacey, visit her website at www.happyhealthyhealingreiki.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Beyond the Veil with Daniel Jackson.